Truth be told, every champion has felt it. Every president has felt it. Every king has felt it. Every lion has felt it. Every winner has felt it. Every soldier has felt it. Every victorious person has felt it. The urge to quit.
Crossroads, life's tolls, life goes. I gotta win. W my lockdown. You can't rewind.
Hey, how are you guys doing today? This is your host, Sonya, with the Remember Who You Are 222 podcast. And I have my guest, Daisy, here with us today. How are you doing?
I am doing great. Hi, everyone.
Yeah, it's great to have you. So Daisy, Daisy is a sacred disruptor and the founder of Oversoul Vibration. It's a sanctuary for women who are spiritually fluent but still feel unrooted. She helps them reconnect with their body's wisdom and live from their natural rhythm, not outside pressure. After navigating military life over 20 years, miscarriages, nomadic lifestyle, and deep identity shifts, Daisy doesn't teach from theory. She leads from lived truth. Her work helps women stabilize in their own frequency and make aligned decisions that reflect who they already are, not who they've been taught to be. So I love that. Why don't you tell the listeners a little bit about your story and how you came to working where you working as you do now?
Yeah, so I came about this spiritual journey from my own experiences after I left the military of 20 years. And so while I was still in the military, I feel like I was kind of already awake, but I wasn't really have no awareness about spirituality. I was just, doing my regular thing as a military woman. But something in me kind of like there's that little bit of awareness that came to me. And when someone asked me to be mean, like to work as if like the drill sergeants do, like they yell and they scream, or if someone makes a mistake, you correct them on the spot, but with like that mean demeanor, like make them fear you, whatever, right? And so I was like, deep in my soul, that's not me, and I don't want to operate from that space. And so so from that moment forward, I made it a promise to myself that I will not lead from that side. Like I want to be that nurturing leader that will lead from the front, but in a gentle, caressing way, yet still stern, like that motherly love, right?
Yeah.
And so throughout that time, on my second marriage, I met my second ex-husband in Okinawa, Japan, and that's where I feel like it was meant to be, because if I didn't meet him, I wouldn't have experienced the two very painful miscarriages, and those two painful miscarriages led to my spiritual awakening. And when that spiritual awakening occurred, I met my two children during a hypnosis session. And in that hypnosis session, they appeared to me. They didn't speak to me, but they appeared as this two little boy and girl playing in front of this big tree near a stream. And as they were playing, something came to me that their purpose really is to just have that experience of the pain, the miscarriages, the misfortune of losing, experiencing the pain, the grief, but they want to teach me how to rise from it. And that's their sole purpose, just to give me that experience and help me reconnect back to source, to who I was before all this happened in my life. And so from that moment, that became my kind of like my foundation. I learned hypnosis. I'm a clinical hypnotherapist. I'm an NLP practitioner. I do EFT. I also learned astrology and human design.
Mhm.
self-taught, so I could understand my foundation, my blueprint, and
Mhm.
so I help women to rediscover basically their whole blueprint
Mhm.
and reconnect them back to who they were. So my whole goal in this process is document all my experiences from that time where where I woke up all the
Mhm.
way to now, to where I'm becoming and
Mhm.
I'm integrating. And so I want to help women who are in the in between. You know, they are
Mhm.
of who I was and who I'm becoming now. And
Mhm.
because there's so much noise outside, there's so
Mhm.
many you know, like there are so many philosophies out there. Okay, this is what I can do. There's so many books, there's so many teachings, so many courses, right? It's
Mhm.
just voices, and what it's doing is just putting us in the intellectual, not embodying it, right?
Mhm.
And now we're over analyzing things. Am I doing things right? You know, do I need to journal more? Do I need to manifest more? Do I need to do
Mhm.
this in order to be who I came to be? When
Mhm.
all we really need is just, you know, just go within.
Yeah.
And so part of my spiritual awakening, I want to share my top 5 that I used personally, which really helped me. And I wrote it down, so I'll read
Mhm.
it. But on top of my head, the 5 things that I used is silencing the mind.
Mhm.
That's the basic. The second one is acknowledging your experiences, the people, and then honoring those things,
Mhm.
right? And then the fourth one for me is just being enveloped in love.
Mhm.
And then the fifth one is allowing yourself to forgive everything,
Mhm.
yourself, the past. And those are my 5 go-to philosophy every time I'm in that space where, you know, because we're always going to be in the middle.
Mhm.
We are becoming, however, throughout that process of becoming, it's kind of like going 3 steps forward, we go 4 steps
Mhm.
back. So we
Mhm.
are still in that 4-step process moving forward, right? So
Mhm.
that's the process of becoming. And so whenever we are falling back, that's where we have to, you know, we really have to have that foundation,
Mhm.
which for me, my personal foundation is going into silence, acknowledging, honoring, forgiving, and then loving myself, right?
Mhm.
Basically pure detachment. And
Yeah.
that's become my philosophy every, and then from there, once I detach, I allow, you know, God, source, universe,
Mhm.
whoever that you know, spiritually are in tuned with, and allow them to just kind of like
Mhm.
go in and just flow through you and let life just unfold in front of you, you
Mhm.
know, because it occupied so much space, right? Like
Yeah.
we so much external stuff that keeps coming in, the external validation, you know,
Mhm.
opinions from others. What are we accepting in ourselves?
Mhm.
And then we don't allow ourselves to, like, what do I accept? What do I really want? You know,
Yeah.
like, who do I want to become? And then they get lost in who they want to become because they see other people becoming themselves. But and
Mhm.
nowadays, like, maybe I should become that person or become that,
Yeah.
right? And there's so much noise. And so my goal really is to help them go within, and going within, it's so cliche and so normal, right? Like it's so easy. It sounds so easy, right? But it's not as easy as
Not with all these, yeah. With like you said, all the noise and with even in the spiritual world, I've noticed there's like even the ego can get involved with that too when you see somebody that's, you know, at a certain spot in the spiritual world.
right, exactly. Like now, you know, like is what they're saying really true? So what
Mhm.
I want to teach, what I want to show you is to really get in tune with your body, get in tune with your womb and your heart and your
Mhm.
mind, your consciousness, and bring the body with you. when you make that decision whether this is right for me or not right for me,
Mm-hmm.
right? See, it's all about connecting, integrating everything.
Mm-hmm.
And what happens is we get so much in the mental. We kind of like over in stimulation of everything. We
Mm-hmm.
see things, we hear things, we know things, but it only stays here
Mm-hmm.
in the mental. We are a multi-body
Yeah,
system.
with the
We have
four
a mental,
bodies.
we have a mental, emotional, physical, we have etheric bodies.
Mm-hmm.
So we have different types of systems in,
Mm-hmm.
but right now the only thing that we know is just this part,
Mm-hmm.
right? We don't even consider the soul, we don't even consider our emotions, we don't consider the mental.
Yeah,
They're all separate systems. But
right.
what happens is the noise that are incoming, they stay in the mental,
Mm-hmm.
and some get processed in the emotions, and then they get stuck in the emotion because they don't know how
Mm-hmm.
to release it. And
To
now,
release, yeah.
yeah, and then it manifests into the body as a chronic disease. you
Mm-hmm.
know that's the process of manifestation, as above so below, from the thoughts all the way down to the physical manifestation into the physical,
Mm-hmm.
as above so below.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, a lot of people just keep manifesting it, keep staying in the mental, and what they're not realizing is, as it continue to build momentum in the mental, it's
Mm-hmm.
also transferring into the physical. It's
Mm-hmm.
transferring to the physical, the emotional, I mean, and it's transferring to the physical. And then it becomes like a recycled thing. It just keeps
Yeah,
cycling
a
around your,
cycle, a pattern.
yeah, it keeps cycling around your energetic field. It keeps cycling around your chakras, your aura, all of that stuff. so
Mm-hmm.
my so my process really is about um, just going gently to release all of that without having to re-experience the traumatic events. It's such a gentle releasing. And
Mm-hmm.
um, basically my foundation is just those five simple things, and entering into the vibration and the frequencies of those beautiful things that I have mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
And when we are clear and detached, our connection with source, our connection with our soul will gain so much clarity. We will achieve, like we will be able to see our soul blueprint. Like
Mm-hmm.
literally, we will be able to, we will meet people that know how to read our soul blueprint, or meet people that know how to connect you to source. Like ideas will start to flow.
Mm-hmm.
Solutions will just come in, and problems doesn't become a problem anymore. It's
Mm-hmm.
like you just see it as it is, but you're not affected by it. And I love Jesus is right here, beloved Christ. Next to me, I live by his words when he said, be in the world but not of it.
Mm.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's my number one, my very top um, priority in my life, to live in this world, live among each other, live among the chaos,
Mm-hmm.
but still you are so intact.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because you are in the silence of your own frequency.
Mm-hmm.
You are in the frequency of love. You are in the frequency of forgiveness and mercy. You are in the frequency of just honoring everything that you see, and not really be attached to it. You just
Mm-hmm.
acknowledge everything as is. And
Just observing, basically.
yeah, exactly. It's just the process of observing. And
Mm-hmm.
and the thing is, it's not a skill. It's an art.
Mm-hmm.
And many people don't realize that until they start mastering it. It's when I went through my own spiritual awakening. It started in 2020 because I
Mm-hmm.
had the two miscarriages in 2018 and 2019. It was 2020 when I got introduced to Joe Dispenza. I got
Mm-hmm.
introduced to
Joe is
Bob.
my guy.
Yeah, yeah. I got introduced to Bob Proctor.
Mhm.
I got introduced to Greg Braden and Bruce Lipton and
Mm.
all, the quantum the quantum gurus,
Yeah,
right?
the quantum.
Yeah, so yeah, and then I got introduced next to Dolores Cannon. So I do quantum
Mhm.
healing hypnosis technique, and I guide them to meet their higher selves, or just heal the quantum
Mhm.
level, soul level. But now I do similar to quantum healing hypnosis technique, but I go beyond. So some call it beyond quantum healing. And then I added
Mhm.
another modality where we release entities that have been creating that patterns
Mm.
unconsciously.
Mhm.
Um, and so, and the best way to release them is through love and forgiveness. And that's the best way that you can. And majority of the time, because we don't know how to forgive, right?
Mhm.
We don't know how to love. And so with that said, it requires an intervention. It requires like a higher divine intervention to allow forgiveness and love. If my philosophy too is, if if I cannot forgive something, or I don't know how to forgive, I just ask my guides, like, help me forgive them,
Mhm.
you know, and it works for me all the time, because it's hard to forgive someone that has hurt you so many times, right?
Yeah.
And the best way to do is, like, if you really, really want it, sometimes you gotta have to ask for help, from the
Mhm.
higher source, so you could achieve your higher purpose.
Mhm.
And then they will work with you. I work a lot with the archangels in my in my sessions,
Mhm.
with ascended masters, with my guides. So you name it,
Mhm.
anything in the spiritual world,
Yeah.
anything spirituality.
Mhm.
I always uh, create that space. Basically, I hold the space for my
Mhm.
clients, so we can enter that high vibrational space um, for them, to
Mhm.
evolve. And I really don't like the word healing so much, because sometimes with the word healing, like, yeah, we are healing, we're in a healing journey, correct?
It's like we could
But
get stuck in it.
yes, somehow we get stuck in that healing process, because we're all it's like a destination, where is the end point, where's the
Right.
destination? And so I really don't like the word healing as much, because to me, my philosophy again is, we are whole already.
Mhm.
We are, like, who we are before all this trauma, before all this noise, before all this
Mhm.
chaos. And that's where I start with, this is, we have always been whole.
Mhm.
And right now we're just so focused in the now, where everything is chaos. And if we could just, you know um remove ourselves, just be an observer,
Mhm.
and kind of like pop out of that experiences, right?
Mhm.
Because being in it is so different than being outside of it.
Mhm.
And majority of the times, after we experience grief or loss or betrayal or anything
Mhm.
hurtful, the body, we are such magnets that it locks it in. It
Mhm.
pulls us deep into the center of all those energy of
Mhm.
betrayal, of hurt, of pain.
Yeah.
And it's so hard to let go. It's like
Mhm.
you have shackles after shackles, you
Yeah.
know and and but the best way to be released from all that, you know is through an intervention, and using your free will to seek the help from outside of us, that
Mhm.
is, more like higher dimensional forces that is
Mhm.
bigger and larger than us, and that's basically like the spiritual process that I move into, and I
Mhm.
wouldn't have had this quick um move shift to where I'm now if I hadn't done that process.
Mhm.
Yeah, and my because my I awakened in 2020,
Mhm.
and then in less than in 2023, that's when I just, you know what, it's I feel
Yeah.
like I'm here now, and I'm ready to share. I'm ready to share what I need to share to all these
Mhm.
women who are still stuck in the limbo, the between.
Mhm.
And so that's where yeah, my guides are like, yep, you're ready. Like, okay, let's do it. So yeah. So I'm here.
Yeah. It's funny because your story like really resonates with my own story as far as like,
Mm,
being in the military. I was in the Marine Corps for 14 years, and then I actually had a miscarriage that really awoke in me. Um,
really?
yeah, because I had so I have one son, and me and my ex, we were actually trying to have another child because we wanted them to, be able to grow up with each other.
Yeah.
And but I realized that miscarriage served its purpose. I mean, at the time I was obviously like hurt by it, but
Yeah.
then I realized that kind of woke me up to realize that I was with somebody that didn't care about me or the child. And so I knew I needed to leave the situation. And so it really, I definitely believe that soul's purpose was to wake me up to like, no, like you need to get out of here, and you have other things to do.
Right. Yeah. And I'm so happy that you're able to, you know, move forward with that wisdom that you've gained from
Mhm.
that experience. And yeah.
Yeah, and I was gonna say it led me to a quantum awakening after that too, to where I know I was led to like start this podcast, and then I've just been meeting some amazing people since I've started it. So
Wow.
you
That is
know,
amazing.
yeah, it's been an amazing journey now.
Yeah. Yeah. And
um,
I love how, like the universe does its work, um, because it connects us to the right people, right? And
mhm,
that's what it means when we have shifted to that place to where we are becoming,
mhm,
because everything behind us is just they just fall off,
mhm,
and that's creating a new space for us to expand more.
mhm.
And as we expand, we meet all these people that
Yeah.
really align with our purpose, with our soul purpose, that aligns with, who we really are becoming, and aligns us with the tribe that will help, will help each other, you know
Mhm,
uh, expand even more and reach more, to send out the message that, our higher selves or source is trying to, you know
mhm,
relate to everybody. And I'm a firm believer that, when it's like our mind is like a train, right? Like
mhm,
when whatever that we set our mind to, let's say all we want is just, I want to be surrounded by these wonderful women, human beings that are so aligned.
mhm,
That's your train. That's
mhm,
that's that that's the train that is behind moving forward, right? Everything else, beyond that just kind of like falls off.
mhm,
The people that you used to meet who are always angry at you, who are always condescending, demeaning, all that will just fall off you, because the mind is more is looking forward to, being on this train and looking forward to
mhm.
what's beyond, what's ahead, you
Yeah.
know. And, yeah, and it's And the beautiful thing about that is now that you have created that thought process,
Mhm.
it's already there. You
Mhm.
know, the destination is already there. Wherever this thought that you set in,
Mhm.
it's that destination is already there. So the
Mhm.
destination where all these amazing people that are aligned with you, that's that. And
Mhm.
you don't have to worry. All you have to do is just ride on that train and stay focused, and then
Yeah.
don't create another stops, pit stops, you know.
Right. Yeah.
But sometimes, but it just depends too, like maybe that pit
Yeah.
stop recommended, it'll just give you a little detour, but in the end, it still takes you to the destination where you meet all these wonderful
Mhm.
women, kind of like going on the role playing game. They call it RPG.
Yeah, yeah. I do
Like
feel like you start to become more aware of things and you're just like, okay, this feels good, and then something starts to feel bad and you're like, oh wait, let's get back on.
exactly. Yeah, let me get back on track
Yeah.
again. Yeah, but then now we have that sense of self-awareness, right? Like that
Mhm.
increased awareness that we
Mhm.
didn't used to have.
Have, that's true.
Yeah.
It is true.
And
Just having
yeah,
that and being like, okay, wait, something's off here. I need to like I need to regroup.
yeah, exactly. And that's the beauty of shifting into that your evolved self now. I really don't like to say healing process, but
Healing, yeah.
you're shifting to your evolved self to where, you know, like everything is already whole, and
Yeah,
you revalidating it, that okay, and reinforcing it that yes,
right.
this is,
Yeah, that's
just need
true.
to get
I
back
do
on track.
like your verbiage where you don't like to say healing because
Mm.
yeah, it says that you're still like, yeah, I get exactly what you mean. So it's like, no, I am whole. This is what I need to step back into.
Yes, we are already whole. We have always been whole. It's just, like all the trauma has pulled us back and
Mm-hmm.
kind of like magnetized that to where that is.
Yeah,
And the shackles kind of kept you there, and all we have to do is just make that choice,
yeah.
to break free. And the one thing that I want to add is that um, I realized that in this evolution process, it's no, like how we become uncomfortable with something new.
Mm-hmm.
Many go back to the uncomfortable because to them that's comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense. Like they
Yeah,
feel in the uncomfortable. They feel safe in the old because that's what all they knew all their
it's
life.
what they're used to. Yeah, it's like this is all I see. So I don't know, the fear of the unknown, basically, even though the unknown is so much more better.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, the fear of the unknown, and
Mhm.
that's the one thing that I want to share with everyone, that fear, it's like that bungee cord
Mhm.
that keeps pulling you back to where it tries to, because it feels safe to be
Mhm.
in that space where
Mhm.
you always knew what the event is going to unfold, right? Like if people hurt you, you kind of feel comfortable because that's all you knew,
Mhm.
your whole life you're always surrounded by that people, and it's like, okay, this is life, this is it, this is all I
Yeah.
know, and I'm okay with here, right? But then once we start entering into that spiritual awakening, or to that
Mhm.
space where we're evolving into, like, okay, I really don't want that, I'm really ready to step forward, and
Mhm.
then you're kind of like in this limbo. When we are in that limbo, that's where it becomes scary too, and then that fear starts to kind of like, like start to enter your life again, and then
Yeah.
like, what, it's I don't know what's over there, and
Yeah.
we're here because this is what we knew, right?
Mhm.
Even though it hurts you over and over and over again, right?
Yeah.
And all I want to share with everyone who is in that space, because I've been there before, and I call myself a nomad. I don't know, maybe I was a gypsy in my old life past lives because I'm always moving. After my divorce,
Yeah.
I moved in a span of 5 years. I've been moving from place to place to place. Like
Oh.
literally, like my stuff is in storage, and I would go to friends or family, live with them because I don't want I don't want to
Like,
go back to the norm.
comfortable or
Right. Like I have that. That's why I call myself the sacred disruptor because I really want to disrupt,
yeah.
like the way of things, and I wanna be in that. I want to be free. I want to be
Yeah, yeah,
liberated. And
yeah.
so I move from place to place to place,
Hmm.
and
I feel like
one.
I'm kind of like, I guess I've been like that. Just being in the military, it never bothered me to move to different areas and
Yeah,
start a new life there and all these different things. And then I moved after I got out. I moved from Virginia to San Diego, and now I've been
right.
here. But I do feel the calling to just travel. Like I want to go. I went to Sedona, Arizona in April, and I want to go. I just want to go to a lot of different. I do want to
Yeah,
travel.
yeah, exactly. And that's our soul calling. And
Mhm.
it's usually because in each location there's like a wisdom that we need to gain. Like those are like the pit stops that
Mhm.
the soul wants to,
Mhm.
there's a wisdom that they are gonna give you somewhere,
Mhm.
like for your evolution, for your
Yeah,
experience, right?
that
So for
makes sense.
me, yeah, I went from Oklahoma. That's where all my miscarriages occurred. Went
Mhm.
to Washington State, um, and then I had to gain a lot of wisdom from there about self leadership, my self healing and stuff. Then I
Mhm.
went to Florida where I discovered Dolores Cannon and hypnosis and all that
Mhm.
stuff. Then
Okay.
I'm here in Alaska.
Oh wow, Alaska.
Yeah, yeah, I'm here in Alaska, and like I've been in the background trying to create my program, and then
Mm,
now I'm ready to um, to start over again and with this new program that I'm doing in Washington
mhm.
State. But this time, yeah, I'm going back to where I started
Mhm.
in Washington, but it's more like I'm going there to start over, but doing it differently than I
Did
did
before.
before,
Oh,
right?
okay.
So it's like, yeah, it's okay. That's okay. Like we'll let's do it again, but this time you're gonna apply everything that you have uh,
Yeah.
learned through your travels, through your experiences, through meeting all these people, through the
Mhm.
modalities that you have acquired, and then now it's the demonstration part. You're gonna
Mhm.
live through demonstration. You're gonna lead through
Mhm.
demonstration now, and and so and me being I know I've been in the military for 20 years, and I feel like leadership has always been kind of like my
Mm.
part of me, but
Mhm.
still, I know uh, leading it by yourself sounds like really scary, right?
Yeah. Yeah. No,
and and
yeah, I understand completely. I'm like in the same boat.
you
It's like
know
I believed in a certain leadership style when I was in, and then it's now you have to attract people to you using that leadership style.
yes, exactly. And so I'm like, because in the military, we are surrounded by mentors, and
Mhm.
that will guide us how to do this. Now you're kind of like on your own and
Mhm.
really putting it all together. So and and I didn't allow one thing that helped me move through all those is this quote that I always quote myself. What do you accept and what you don't accept? What do
Mhm.
you allow and you do not allow? And for me, I do not accept fear. I do
Mhm.
not allow fear. And once I made that choice, that's basically kept me going.
Mhm.
It kept me moving forward, and without fear or without, yeah, because I know like all my decisions have become without fear. Like
Mhm.
before, I would doubt it a little bit, like do I really want to
Yeah.
move? Is this really like a good? And then I start over planning, over analyzing, over budgeting,
Yeah. That's like the
but
overthinking. Like I tend to do that, like overthinking and over analyzing. But it really does come down to us just believing in ourselves and knowing that we can do it, and then it starts to come to us, because I've been through the roller coaster of like, oh, I see it happening, and it's coming and it's coming, and then I do something that kind of derails me, and I'm like, wait, what's going on? um
right,
but I try and think like, okay, is there any fear, doubt, or anything? That means that's what I have to move through.
exactly.
And yeah, it's just, and I do feel like just meeting people of like mind, we can kind of help each other stay on track too.
Yes, I absolutely agree with that. And with the right people, it, we are more powerful as a collective,
Hmm.
and because when we have that same, um, not belief, but
Like I guess the
same
common goal.
direction. Yeah, like we have that
And
common goal. Yeah, and
yeah,
it becomes
it's-
easier to move. Yeah, and I totally agree with that.
yeah, definitely. Okay, and so I know you talked a lot about how you help people get back to that. Have you had any like client success stories? And
Hmm. Yeah, so with my the hypnosis, that's
Mhm,
basically my go-to process, and also I do a lot of energy healing.
mhm,
And most of my success stories, they are on my website too, and I have more, but I haven't posted it because I haven't been doing a lot of editing. But
mhm,
many of my success stories have shared with me the quick turnaround of the
mhm,
transformation. I have one. She's one of my favorite story. One, I will share the story with Archangel Michael
mhm,
during the hypnosis, and then the second one is basically she had binge eating problem, but that wasn't really our goal to
mhm,
begin with. It just unfolded for her.
mhm,
Like she had a different goal, throughout our process. But eventually, throughout the days, she sent me her testimonial video, and she realized that she's no longer binge eating.
mhm,
So, and it's because whatever that was, the root cause of her binge eating is a lot deeper than the surface level that she had mentioned during our
oh
session.
yeah,
So after that, everything just kind of like falls off, and um, she came back to just being whole. Like she can
mhm,
look at food, she can open the cupboard, with
yeah,
all the junk food in there. But then she noticed that she just suddenly closed it, and
mhm,
and she said, "I don't need that."
mhm,
And she realized, like, wow, I felt so empowered by just saying no to those things.
yeah,
Yeah, and so that's one, and then another was it's a gentleman. He's a realtor in Dubai, so we
mhm,
had a different session with him, and he noticed that after the session, a few days later, the person that he was chasing to pay him the commission
mhm.
finally reached out to him and paid him the commission without doing
Oh,
anything.
without him doing anything, that's crazy.
So that's what I mean by just your life starts to unfold itself.
Yeah,
It
that's
starts
true.
to follow you because now you have space.
Mhm,
You have extra space now where life can move through you.
mhm.
Before, it's just full of resistance, full of junk, where
Yeah,
the light of source or universe cannot flow through and work on you. So
mhm,
like you keep saying your prayer, you keep begging you want this, but how could the life force flow through when you have all this resistance and walls and
Yeah.
doubts and fear, and right? So it's like
That's
water, like it's like a waterfall, like a faucet, like those little pebbles, and it's
Mhm.
just there, and now the water is just all over the place. But once you remove all those rocks, the water just goes straight.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
So,
true.
so that's basically what I do.
It
And
really
this
is just
one,
like blockages that get in the
yeah,
way. Yeah.
exactly. So this one lady, she said, she made a comment like she just went in there and kind of like removed all those mess inside my head.
Yeah.
And so it's a yeah. So I enjoyed her testimonial for that. And the last one that I want to share was her testimonial with my work with Archangel Michael, where um, we had to um, release a lot of attachments in her energetic field, and she
Mm.
would tell me Archangel Michael would be it would play with that entity, like pretending that he's chasing him as she is like explaining what's happening. The Archangel Michael is like chasing this entity, but I know he
Oh,
can catch him like so quickly, but
yeah.
he's just fun with it.
Why is
And
he chasing it? Yeah.
right, so he's just messing with that little thing.
That's funny.
And then eventually we finally released it. And she came back to me and mentioned how her spiritual connection has deepened, and she's doing
Mhm.
more work now with the animals in her farm, not her farm, in her like a sanctuary. She does
Mhm.
like a fostering of the animals, and so she was able to work effortlessly in that um, nonprofit. And so yeah, basically all what I'm observing is with the work and from their testimonial is that if I summarize this in one, is just life starts to unfold in front
Mhm.
of them, and
Yeah,
that's
because
and
it's
that's it.
because
Yeah.
you take the blocks away, the subconscious blocks.
Yeah, and they finally see, find clarity, and they finally see, like, oh, so this could have had happened, you know, if I didn't have those things. But but
Mhm.
but even with those blocks has served them purpose as well, because
Yeah.
what we did was we also talked to those blockages, and they leave them the wisdom from
The
why that
wisdom
happened.
from it. Oh,
Right.
okay. Yeah. I think I
Yeah.
have heard that. Like you see the lesson from it versus like the actual feeling of pain and all that.
That's right. Yeah. So there's like little bit of tidbits of lesson they leave behind, and from there they integrate those lessons that those blockages taught them or
Mhm.
showed them, right? And then we address forgiveness and mercy in the process. That way, it's such a gentle release,
Mhm.
right? It's not like an abrupt, we're just gonna pluck it out and throw it away,
Yeah.
and then you're gonna be okay, but
Yeah.
it's kind of like removing, like a big stab wound,
Mhm.
and then you don't patch it or clean it nicely, after
Yeah.
surgery infection. So
That's funny.
it's kind of like a like energy surgery almost, but it's a
Mhm.
gentle process. Yeah, so that's why I love this work, this energy healing work that I do. And
Mhm.
I've seen transformational um, you know experiences from my client after that. So
Mhm.
yeah.
I love that. That's amazing. Okay, well, I don't want to hold you too long today, um, but I do ask like a closing wisdom question to everybody, and that's just
Sure.
basically like if you were to tell our listeners of one divine truth that you've found, what would that truth be?
My divine truth. Basically, there's you're a spiritual being first and foremost. You know, you are a soul being, you know, living in this body, and you are allowing the soul to express through you. And basically you're loving your body to where you're preparing your body for the soul to house with you. And that way you are both um, experiencing life together, experiencing life that, you know, the flow of life that source wanted to give you, which is an effortless life, effortless living, uh, life without suffering, a life where there is just like unlimited amount of joy and abundance. And the best way to be in that space is uh, to allow yourself to be detached and to just release anything that doesn't serve you anymore, even though it feels like you are so connected or attached to that thing or person. Just learning how to detach and observe and acquire the lesson from those experiences will help you move to that space where it's more abundant. There's more joy. There's maybe like no suffering almost. You're just living your truth. Yeah.
I love that.
Thank you.
So if anybody wanted to get in touch with you for the quantum hypnosis or any of your programs, where would they contact you at?
Yeah, so they can reach me on Instagram at Oversoul Vibration. So it's OVERSOUL Vibration. And with the same handle, oversoulvibration.com is where you can reach me. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Well, it was definitely great having you today, and I'm glad I was able to connect with you. It's always amazing talking to people, you know, who have done the work to raise their vibration, and it's amazing.
Yes. Thank you so much, Sonya, for having me.
Yeah, of course. And we will end it on that note today. So you guys have a great rest of your day.
Bye.